Hi everyone, thanks for joining me on a Sunday. Let's try and predict some tennis matches. I was a bit concerned about what I was going to do with my Sunday afternoon. And then I saw WTA Guadalajara starts. Fantastic! 14 matches to research. So excited, I almost soiled myself. I was going to say I shat myself, but I think you're allowed to say that on YouTube, so I won't say it. If you're watching the video, I am allowed to say it, and I'll use it more often. Yesterday's matches, before we move on to today's, the Kipson-Shevchenko match was a bit of a non-event. Not Kipson, what am I on about? Kopriva Shevchenko. Kopriva took the first set 6-love. He also took the first game of the second set, and Shevchenko retired. So we never got the entry price, never happened. The San Diego final was pretty good. Kenin against Krejcikova. But let's try and do it from memory. It's boring to read it. The first set, Kenin broke first and was broken back. She then broke again and was broken back. That took him to 4-all. Krejcikova then held and broke serve again to take the set 6-4. Second set, Kenin broke right at the start. She served a lot better in the second set. She faced 5 break points, wasn't broken. Got another break towards the end of the set. In fact, right at the end of the set to take the set 6-2. Third set, much tighter. No break points in the first 8 games. Krejcikova served at 4-all and had to save 4 break points, which she did. And I think that was that just finished Kenin off because Kenin was broken in the next game. Krejcikova took it 6-4, so a pretty good trading final. And the correct predicted winner. What a star. Right, let's have a look at today's. First one confused the hell out of me, which is why I've picked it. Wickmayer against Mertens. Now, usually when I look at a match before I see any stats or I see the price or I see anything, I get an idea in my head as to who's going to win. And my gut reaction was it's going to be Mertens, but she's going to make harder work of it. So let's look at the stats. They haven't played before. We're on hard courts, hard win percentages. Fairly even over the last 12 months. This year, Wickmayer has a better win percentage. Last season, Mertens made the second round. Wickmayer didn't play. So normally I would look at the stats first, but I'm going to go through the matches first. So Wickmayer on the left. She reached the second round of the US Open, but as lucky loser. She actually retired in the qualifying rounds and was given a lucky loser place. I don't agree with that. I think that's wrong. If you retire, you're out. You shouldn't be able to get a second bite of the cherry. But anyway, until they change the rules, that will continue to happen. She lost to Keys pretty easily. Second round in Prague in August. Retired again. Pattern emerging there. Warsaw made the semis. That's a good effort. Took Swiatek to a tiebreak in the second set. Beat Heather Watson, Martinkova, who's out of form, and Hibino, who you never know how she's going to play from one week to the next. And that's it for 2023 for Wickmayer. Over to Mertens. She lost to Stevens last week. She made the third round at the US Open, lost to Goff in 3 sets. Beat Collins that week as well. Cincinnati second round, fourth round in Miami. Beat Kazatkina that week. Lost to Rybakina. Semis in Monterey. She beat there Cocchiaretto, Ruse. Pretty easy draw to be fair, and then lost to Garcia in 2. Made it through the qualifying rounds in Doha before losing to Collins. Third round Australian Open. Lost to Sabalenka, beat Muguruza. 3 sets in the first round. So she seems to have had more success just looking at those matches this year, which is why I was a little bit surprised to see the stats. So let's look at hard court, main tour, 1 year. Let's turn off everything except the percentages. So you can see there, Wickmayer leads service holes. First serve points 1%, second serve points 1%, and predicted holes. Now, if you've seen previous videos, you know that when I see a player's leading in those 4 stats, that's a really strong suggestion that they're going to take the match. So that threw out my gut reaction prediction of Mertens taking it. Does support my thought that Mertens would struggle. But the stats are telling me that that Wickmayer is going to win that. However, if we do look at just the number of tournaments, she's only played through 3 tournaments. Did well. So semi there and second rounds in the other 2. So did retire in those other 2. That sort of takes some points off her. I've got to go with looking at the results. Mertens is inconsistent. She has played reasonably well in August, not so much in September. I've got to give it to her, but I'm going to stick with my original thought that she's going to struggle a little bit. So I think we're going to get 3 sets. Mertens starts at, let's just double check that. Bear with me. Okay, she starts at 144. What I'm going to do on this one, I'm actually going to lay Mertens if she drops down to 125, take some liability out at 155, and I'm going to back Mertens around about 2.1, take some liability out at 1.6. It's a decent chance of 3 sets. Just wanted to show that one because I was really confused at first when Wickmayer was leading the 4 main categories. Okay, so that's that one. The other one I'm going to do is Davis Parks. Let's have a look at that one. Okay, Davis starts around about 1.9 on Betfair today. So let's see what we've got. They've played once before. That was August this year on a hard court. Parks took that in 3. So that's relevant towards today's proceedings. Win percentages better for Davis. Long term over the last 50 matches, 12 months and this year, she's got a better win percentage. Last season she reached the first round as qualifier and Parks lost in the first round of qualifying. Okay, so back to the normal procedure. I'm going to look at the stats first. So we've got hard court, main tour, 12 months. Davis leads. Service holds, return points. Parks leads, first serve points 1%. Davis leads, second serve win percentage, and also predicted holds. So she's got 3 of the 4, but first serve points 1% is quite a big one of the 4 for me. So that just puts a little bit of doubt as to whether she's going to run away with this. The price itself suggests she's not going to run away with it, 1.9. Let's look at individual matches. So she made this is Davis, made the second round at the US Open, lost to Juvan. She was slight favourite in that one, lost it in 3. Lost to Stevens in 3 in Cleveland. Stevens has been in decent form. Lost to Lee in Cincinnati. That's quite a strong favourite there. And that's the one she lost to Parks in Montreal. So recent form's not quite been her best. She did reach the second round in Washington, came through the qualifying rounds, lost to Bencic. Second round in Dubai, lost in the qualifying rounds there to Yastremska. Had a win over Teichmann in 3, lost to Sabalenka, no shame in that. What else? Second round Australian Open, lost to Mertens. And she won the title, started the year really well, started with the title in Hobart. Beat Sloane Stevens that week. Cocchiaretto in the final. Not the hardest of opponents. Blinkova perhaps should have put her under a little bit more pressure, but fair dues, gets a title. Second round in Auckland as well. Now Parks, huge potential, absolutely massive potential. Does really well on indoor hard courts. Hasn't really had much success on outdoor courts. Not really sure why. She's got a big serve, and when it works, really tough to break down. She's starting to find better form on the outdoor courts. But definitely a work in progress for her. San Diego, because she was improving, I thought she actually might beat Potapova in that one. She did fight back, struggled in the first set, did fight back to take the second. And from memory, she went a break ahead in the third. Potapova broke back, then they had quite a long rain delay. In the end, Potapova took that 6-4 in the third. What else? Lost in the qualifying rounds in Cincy. She made it through the qualifying rounds in Montreal. Took Bencic to 3. It's obviously a good result. Bencic not quite at her best at the moment. What else have we got? Second round in Merida. She lost in the qualifying rounds. So when you just compare those side by side, you've got to give the edge to Davis, even though she hasn't been quite in the best form. So what I'm going for in that one is, I think if Parks has a really good day on serve, she can easily take a set. And the fact that Davis isn't quite her best at the minute in the last few weeks does again give Parks a little bit more chance than normally she would have. So what I'm doing there, I'm looking to lay Parks around 1.65, take some liability out at 2.1, and I'll back Davis if she loses the first set. So that's it for today. I hope they've been useful, and I hope to see you tomorrow.